This video shows you how to subtract fractions making like denominators. It's essentially the same idea as adding fractions with different denominators, but we are subtracting. And I'll show you a few different methods to subtract. Now looking at that, we had 1/3 plus 1/5 previously. And to solve that, what we would do is we'd take 1/3, use the denominator from 1/5, and multiply 1/3 times that 5. And it has to be 5 over 5, so you have that 1, to get 15/5. Then we did 1/5, we took the denominator from 1/3, which is 3, and multiplied 1/5 by 3/3 to get 3/15. And then we added those two together, 5/15 plus 3/15, to get 8/15. Subtracting is going to be the same process, but instead of adding, we will be subtracting. So 1/3 minus 1/5 looks a little bit like this. We have 1/3 times 5/5 because we took that denominator from the other part, and we have 5/15. Then for 1/5, we have 3/15 because we take 1/5, multiply it by 3/3, and get 3/15. And our final step is 5/15 minus 3/15, and we have a solution of 2/15. Try this next problem on 3/5 minus 1/6. We solve this just like the other problem. If we start with 3/5, we take the 6 from the denominator and multiply 6 over 6, which is our fractional 1, to get 18 over 30. We take our 1/6 and multiply that times 5/5 because we have the 5 in the denominator of our first number, and find that it is 5/30. We bring it down. 18/30 minus 5/30 is 13/30. Let's move on to the next problem. We have 1 3/4 minus 3/5. I'm going to show you 3 different ways to solve this, and you can choose whichever you think is easiest for you. Now the first way that we do it is just like we did the other problems. We take the 3/4 and we multiply it by the denominator, 5/5, to get 15/20. So our first number is 1 3/4 is the same as 1 15/20. Then we're going to take 3/5 and make that with the same denominator. And when we solve that, we see that 3/5 is the same as 12/20. And moving over to the side, we have 1 15/20 minus 12/20. Solving that, we 12/20 from 15/20 is 3/20, and 1 whole minus 0 wholes is 1. So we have a difference of 1 3/20. And this is method 1. Another way that you can look at it is we can turn 1 3/4 into an improper fraction. We know that 1 is the same as 4/4. So 1 3/4 actually turns into 7/4 because we have 4/4 plus the 3/4. And then we're going to have the same thing that we did before, where we're taking 7/4 and multiplying it by that common denominator, which gives us 35/20, and then we'll take 3/5 and find the common denominator, which we find to be 12/20. From there, we can take our 35/20 and subtract 12/20 to get 23/20, which simplifies to 1 3/20. Same solution, different way of getting there. Now I have one more way to show you, and this way took me a little bit longer to catch on to as well. So if you don't understand it, don't stress about it. Okay? And I'm going to draw a number line because that's going to help me explain it a little bit. Now when we look at this number line, I went from 0 to 2. And I put on this number line 3/5, which is my last number, and 1 3/4. And I'm looking at the space between them. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say to get from 3/5 to 1, I add 2/5. And then to get from 1 to 1 3/4, I'm going to add 3/4. So what we're doing here is we're changing the problem from 1 3/4 minus 3/5 to a new problem which is 2/5 plus 3/4. Because now we are looking for this space in here to see what that is. And we can look at 2/5 plus 3/4, and we know how to solve that because that is an addition problem that we did from before. So 2/5 we'll multiply by 4/4, which is 8/20, and we'll do the same with 3/4. Multiply it by 5/5, which is 15/20, and we will take our 8/20 and add it to 15/20, where we get 23/20, which simplifies to 1 3/20. Okay, 3 different methods to get to the same solution. So try this next problem on your own, and then I'll show you how I did it. 3 3/5 minus 2 1/2. And I'll show you all 3 methods, so you can try one, you can try them all. And here's what they look like. I have the first method, the second method, and the third method. You'll notice in all of these we do need to use that fractional one. And I didn't include it in method 3, but it was a step in the middle here. Okay, look at it, check your answer. If you have questions, let me know.